Hello everyone and welcome to Business Upturn. My name is Nivedya and today we have with us Mr. Vivek Bajaj, co-founder of StockEdge, a leading stock market analytics app. So, to begin with, I think we could start with the most discussed topic these days, that is the effect of COVID-19 pandemic on the market. So we see that markets around the world have been adversely affected by the present scenario. So, what do you think is the extent to which the pandemic has affected the stock market and impacted the companies and investors in India? And do you think this could be compared to the global financial crisis that we faced back in 2008?
So to answer your question, first thing first, stock market and economy. So we have been always taught that stock market is a barometer of economic performance. Now, I strongly believe that that statement is no more relevant because stock market is not necessarily a barometer of economy. Stock market has become the barometer of liquidity in the system. Okay. So, when we talk about economy, that means we're talking about performance of businesses. And because of COVID-19, obviously, most of the businesses have suffered. But having said that, whenever there is any crisis, there is always opportunity of emergence of new businesses. And stock market is such a smart ecosystem that it always tries to focus on emerging opportunities. And immediately you will see growth happening in stock markets, even though the economy is not performing. Now, what are the new opportunities? The classic new opportunities is all of us staying at home. We need data connection, we need internet speed. So Geo became the big opportunity. So Reliance stock, which was 1,000 rupees when the COVID started, today the stock is 2,100 rupees. Why? Because there is a new opportunity which they capitalized on. And obviously, because Reliance is the major player in the market and it contributes to the maximum market capitalization in the market. So when the stock goes up, market obviously gets influenced and market also goes up. Similarly, if you see, there are other opportunities like we have learn from home, work from home, trade from home. So like stockbrokers who were providing online trading platform, they have done very good. So stock market is a very, very unique place where always we'll see an opportunity in crisis. Now let me come back to the second part of your question, which was that is it comparable to the financial crisis which happened in 2008? Now, you see, for that, you need to understand the concept of liquidity. Now, what is liquidity? Liquidity means a lot of money trying to chase a certain category of assets. Because ultimately, money is being used to generate follow on money out of the same money. And that has been the role of hedge funds and investment managers over a period of last, say, 40, 50 years. Now, from where does the liquidity get generated? The primary source of liquidity is the money printing which the government is doing. And the barometer of liquidity is the interest rate. So if you see the interest rate of US right now is around 0.25%. Eurozone interest rate is zero. Japan interest rate is minus 0.1%. So that means you have to pay money to the bank if you have to keep money in the bank. India, the interest rate is almost 4% now, which was almost 6.5% before crisis, before probably 6 months ago. But now, if you want to go to bank and do a fixed deposit, you will not get more than 4% annualized. So, why this interest rate is low? Because government want a lot of money to be available to a real economic player, so that the demand is getting generated. So the economy is in ventilator. So there is a respiratory support given in the form of liquidity. But what happens when the liquidity is given? Not all money will go to real assets. Lot of money will go to financial assets, and that's the reason why a bubble takes place. And whenever there is excessiveness in a bubble, the bubble gets bust, and there is a crisis. So 2000 there was a dot com bubble because of Y2K problem. 2008 there was a dot com crisis. There was a real estate bubble which got created because interest rates were low at around 2000, 2001, 2002. The governments keep interest rate low because interest rates should be kept low when you have to make the economy move out of the crisis. Similarly, from 2008 onwards, 2009, 10, interest rates were low and there was a buildup of the bubble. So I believe that the bubble in the current scenario is still there. COVID was a intervention. It was just हिंदी में उसको बोलते हैं अल्प विराम. It's an intermission which led to some corrections. But I think the liquidity bubble is still intact, and still money is available at a cheap rate, which is lowest interest rate. And government globally keeps on printing money in the form of quantitative easing. There will be enough money in the system to chase financial market assets, and the markets will keep on going up. So gold is going up, equity is going up, silver is going up, copper is going up. Why? Because money is chasing all these assets, and money wants to park itself into these productive assets.
Okay. We see in these past few months that the pharma sector has been growing massively. For instance, like the stocks of Cipla, Aura, Davis, they have all grown considerably during the
Correct.
pandemic.
Correct.
Yeah. What do you think? Is it because of the health scenario that we are presently facing, or will they be able to maintain it in the long run as well?
See, pharma is a very funny sector. Okay, we will have to segregate pharma into medicine companies, so companies who are producing medicine, and companies who are producing the raw materials, the API companies which are producing the raw materials to produce the medicines. Now, Indian pharma company has been predominantly importing raw materials from China, which we call APIs. Now, what has happened because of this China issue? We are not importing a lot of things from China anymore because the government doesn't want us to import things from China. So the local manufacturers of API, their prices have gone up because their revenue has gone up, their demand for their products have gone up. It's a classic story which happened in with respect to chemical sector 3 years ago when the import from chemical was not happening from China, and suddenly Indian chemical who were producing the chemicals, they saw a lot of demand from local as well as from foreign players, and their revenue went up. So you have companies like GMM, you have a lot of these API driven companies, L'Oreal. These companies have done very good, but because people consider them to be part of pharma, so all the pharma companies are also doing well. Now it is assumed that because there is a pandemic and there is a medical issue, so all these pharma companies we also see a lot of revenue boost in future. Sure, there was a revenue boost in 1 quarter because all of us staying at home, we were buying extra medicine and storing it for our future contingency purpose. But will you keep buying paracetamol? I have my doubt because after the COVID thing is getting muted, you will continue with the same consumption behavior, which is lesser selective paracetamol or selective uh, multiple medicine. So, pharma sector per se, I think, has been over hyped. API is fine, but herbal pharma or Ayurvedic pharma is still logical, like Dabur, like Himalaya. These are good because the whole world is now realizing the fact that building immunity is the most important thing. So any company which is into uh, not pharmaceutical but say a nutraceutical, so supplying a nutrient oriented thing. For example, uh, Abbott, Abbott, which is giving health drinks or all those Horlicks and Complan and all those, they will do very good because we finally have accepted this that our immunization system should be very strong, right? So not all pharma companies will do good in future. Selective will continue to outperform. Like Dabur is a universally good story and it will continue to outperform.
Okay. So considering the present situation, what are the various parameters and types that a trader can look forward to while trading in the market?
Well, a trader should always look at the price, what the price of an underlying is saying. When you go to a temple, you always want to go and pray to God. You always search for a God, and price is the God. And when you look at price continuously for over a period of time, you realize the movement in a price. You try to predict that price in a much better manner than anyone else. So one has to be very focused that, okay, I'll only trade in these 10 stocks and I will only look at these 10 stocks for a period of 10 months. So I have this theory of 10, 10, 10. Focus on 10 stocks for 10 months with a loss of maximum 10% per month of your capital. Okay. So if you do that for a period of 10 months, maximum you can lose is 100% of your capital. Say you decide that I want to put 1 lakh capital in the market. So your maximum loss is restricted to 1 lakh. But you get a process of giving a discipline to yourself that I will only focus on 10 stocks. And so people have to be very focused because there are a lot of new guys who are coming into the system. So if they keep on hovering around here and there and figuring out what to do, what not to do, and just do things based on other people's recommendation, they will have tough time.
Yes. So yeah, so as we said, during the pandemic, we have seen like a number of retail investors. There is a spike in the number of retail investors. Maybe it's because we have this work from home facility, we have lots of time. So, what would you suggest to them regarding this? Because not every person is very aware of like all the terms and technical aspects of trade and stock market. So, what would be your
My
suggestion?
suggestion is that Elon Markets is there. We have so many free content available. So we can, a person should start, first thing first is download the app of Elon Markets. There is a free course which we have given. Then look at all the YouTube videos. Our YouTube has almost 3.5 lakh subscribers. See all the YouTube videos which we are creating free of cost. If one can understand things free of cost from us and then identify what is the area where you want to get into, and if you want a specialized learning from us, there are learning courses which you can take as a specialized learning model. So going through learning of Elon markets and using stockage to analyze the market is the best combination which a retail investor can go
Okay. So, regarding the analysis of the market these days, so which method do you think is more prominent or more suitable, the technical or the fundamental, in order to forecast the future trends in stock market?
through. If you are a trader and if you're looking for a period of say 1 day to probably 3 months, then technical will be more relevant. And if you're an active investor and you're looking for a period of say 3 months and beyond, then fundamental has more relevance.
Yeah, so if you like look at the technical analysis, what would you suggest to the traders about the future of the market? Like if we look at it, the Sensex has went up to like 24% since the past 3 months. Even though we have like a economic crisis, like globally economic fallout seen. So, what are your takes on that, and what will be your suggestion to the people who would be like to invest?
My suggestion would be that focus on your circle of competence. All of us have two things which we should understand. One is circle of competence and circle of influence. Circle of competence is something which I can understand, which is within my competence. So say for example, I don't understand pharma industry because I don't understand how the medicines are made, how the medicine will be sold. So I will not focus there. But say, for example, I understand FMCG business because I'm consumer of FMCG products and I know that I've been regularly using XYZ product. So I'll focus on products which are within my circle of competence. Second, I will figure out circle of good influence for myself. There's so many people who are talking various things about market, multiple YouTube channels, multiple WhatsApp groups, multiple friends and family members, neighbors. Everyone is an expert in stock market. We have to pick that who are the five best sources for me, and those are the best influences. If you can merge circle of competence with circle of good influence, then you can arrive at those 10 stocks which you can comprehend, you can understand, and just focus on those 10 stocks for a period of 10 months. I think you'll be sorted.
Okay. So, would you please like to tell about your personal take on the stock market these days and why is the trend? What is the trend and how is it going?
The stock market is very, very exciting occupation because this is one occupation which has all the industries. So FMCG, chemicals, steel, uh, everything is part of one industry, stock market. So if you can establish yourself in stock market, you actually have a very strong command in all the industries. But obviously, you have to find out your area of specialization. It's not possible to know everything. So my humble submission is that it will take 2 years for anyone to figure out how to make money from stock market. It cannot be a matter of 2 days, 2 weeks, or 2 months. जैसे we do tapasya. All the gurus, they do tapasya for many years before they get the enlightenment and they get knowledge, wisdoms. So stock market also need at least 2 hour of 2 year of deep learning before you can actually start making judgment on the market and start thinking of making money from the market.
So, considering the pandemic situation, so what would you think about like how will the economy revive in a post COVID-19 world?
See, economy was not doing good even before pandemic. 2000, if you see 2019 was bad, 2018, because there have been series of actions by the government which was supposed to revive the economy, but actually they became a counterproductive actions. For example, GST and other things. The economy it is taking some time to live up to that new reality of the way economy has been run. So I think could be pandemic could be a very good reason for the new energy inside the economy for the new growth. So I think 2021, mid 2021 onwards, we should see a better, because I think by that time all the negativity will be settled and people will have more acceptance of the reality. So from mid to 2021, I think economy will do good, and by 2024, obviously we'll see a better times. So anyways, 2024 we have the next election. So by that time, economy has to do good if the current government has to come back.
Yeah, so that means the stock market, like despite the pandemic, the stock market is kind of growing, even though like we cannot see that kind of a downward growth or anything. So the economy, I mean, the stock market is uh, considered to be growing in the future as well, right?
See, stock market always moves like this. You go, it will come down, stay there for some time, then go, then come down, stay there for some time. The trend is upward. There was a fall because of COVID. It has again come back. And the trend remains upward. There is no scope of downtrend in stock market. But if you ask me, say tomorrow will market go up or next month, will you see market going up? I don't know. Maybe next month market will correct. So, from high 10% correction is okay. So go up 10%, 15% correction, fine. Then again new rally. But if market goes below 20%, that's area of concern. I don't see market correcting more than 10 to 15% with every rally.
So we also have a couple of queries from our readers. So it would be great if you could answer that as well.
Okay.
Uh, so, what would you suggest to the readers who have asked about taking calls on Reliance Industries and Dabur India? during this period?
See, Reliance, I mean, a lot has been said about Reliance in media, and now everyone knows their business model and how they are evolving. So for me, and I've been telling this for quite a long period of time, when Reliance was 900, 1,000. See, if you see the biggest data company in the world is Google. The market capitalization of Google is around $900 billion. And the second biggest will be Facebook with a market capitalization of around, say, $600 billion. Reliance today is around, say, 200 to $25 billion. And the company has, it's the largest data company in India. It is going to be the largest online retail company in India. And it has the most data about Indians than any other platform in the world has. It is as comparable to Google for Indian audience. So I see that Reliance prices will continue to go up. This stock will always remain expensive. So it's always difficult to buy an expensive stock because it needs a very different level of conviction. So whenever market goes down and if Reliance is available at a lower price, for example, recently market corrected, Reliance went down to 2000, then again it went up. So whenever there is any correction, one has to keep on accumulating Reliance because that's the Google of India, as simple as that. So you can't sell Google. You have to buy Google because we know how Google works globally. As far as Dabur is concerned, I think Dabur is one of those stocks which is a mix of FMCG and pharma. It's a very strong combination. So, and I think the demand of Chyawanprash and other immunity builder globally will go up. So I think Dabur is also a good stock to buy. But again, things should correct because Dabur is slightly more expensive. But in stock market, expensive keep on becoming expensive, and cheap can become much, much more cheaper. So Dabur and Reliance is always a good buy.
Okay.
Whenever there is a correction, you come in, you buy some. That should be your thought process.